Alright, I am back with another Destiny video here on my kind of quickly growing YouTube channel, which again, I appreciate everyone's support here. This will be the only place that you see me talking about Destiny on video for probably a while. I am no longer on the Rageless Roundtable weekly podcast for reasons that are probably obvious to any of you who has been following what's going on. If not, I will link that article in the description that I've been working on this week. And now that has given me more time to just focus on this YouTube channel. I may end up on a different podcast someday or doing my own, but for now I just want to keep doing this as I've had a lot of fun with this and it's been going well, so we'll just see how this goes. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about how it feels like I've kind of beaten the season, quote-unquote, already. Not really, because obviously in the seasonal model there's stuff that trickles out over time and there's still more events to come and stuff, but at Reset on Tuesday I posted that I had maxed my Recaster, the Drifter machine thing, and I had hit season rank 100, and everyone was just like, how? Like, what are you doing? Are you insane? And obviously the answer to the how of this is yes, I do play just a lot. That is a big part of it, but for people who are curious more about the specifics and if there's anything you can kind of do to move along faster, because I know people can kind of get bogged down in these seasons and these upgrade paths and the ranks and stuff when you just kind of want to get through it and unlock all the cool stuff. And getting this far allows me to farm all the god rolls of the really good new seasonal weapon set that we have here. So it's not just like completing it to complete it, it's also actually useful. The Recaster, this is a weird one because Bungie keeps saying like they want to do things that benefit the solo player and allow solo players to more easily get through seasonal content. If they are doing that, they haven't done that this season because the only way I was really able to do this was playing 3 characters. Unlike some of the past seasons where you could sort of farm unlimited upgrade materials for obelisks or what was the last one? Oh, bunkers. Yeah, you could kind of farm those as much as you wanted. This time, the upgrade system for the Recaster is linked to Twisted Energy, which has very limited sources. So what I did is I just did the weekly bounties for that. You get 500 per weekly bounty, which is 1 level per weekly bounty. So that's 6 levels across 3 characters every week. So at the reset here, that's 18 levels by itself. There is, I think, 1,500 Twisted Energy in the season pass, including 1,000, like pretty late. I think it's like rank 90 or something. So once I finished the season pass, that also got me 2 free levels. And then I think I got, the only way you can farm Twisted Energy is just turning in a bazillion Umbral engrams. And I've turned in many. And so I think it takes a lot, though. It's somewhere between 50 and 100 to get a full level in the Recaster. So I did at least that, and I got probably another level out of that. So I hit rank 21. At 21, you get an upgrade that allows you to half the cost of focusing Umbrals, and that's great because the other currency, Altered Energy, is very, very hard to farm and kind of non-existent and does not drop nearly as often as Umbral engrams themselves. So now when I want to go to focus things, that'll make it a little easier. I know some people were doing this thing where they deleted their characters and then maxed the pass instantly by just doing weekly bounties. Just to be clear, I did not do that. This is literally just 3 weeks of 3 characters, and those weekly bounties don't take long. It's like 100 sniper and scout kills this week or like 100 super kills. It's just stuff you're going to be doing anyway. Just make sure you do it. I guess if you're only running 1 character, if it took me 3 resets, it'll take you 9, so most of the way through the season to fully max it. At this point, unless Bungie's going to change something, I would kind of just recommend having multiple characters. Like, you don't have to level them. Like, there's no level requirement in stuff like these bounties, which is why people were deleting their characters and redoing it. But even if you just have other characters and can run 1 or 2 weekly bounties on them, you can really accelerate the pace in which you do this kind of stuff. For the season pass, I'm at like rank 106 or something right now. You get a little boost because you get kind of 5 almost free levels with like really fast ranking up every week. But the answer, it may not surprise you to find out, is bounties, and kind of what I was not focusing on. Bounties are still the name of the game. This is another thing Bungie has said that they're going to try and tone down, but they haven't yet. There are still bounties tied to the Recaster itself. The best source of XP in the game is still definitely all the weekly bounties that you get for every activity, whether that's the ones from Crucible or Vanguard or Gambit, but also like random ones you might not even remember to do, like all the moon ones, like the nightmare ones. Those are weekly bounties. And something people don't realize is that milestones themselves give pretty much weekly bounty level XP. So if you are completing to get a powerful drop, if you're completing that, you will also get a big chunk of XP for doing that. So that's just in like the normal course of power grinding. That's also something that I kept getting and unlocking. And it's actually kind of key because you need to get pretty high up in the season pass to start focusing armor, and then to start getting like random world drops of armor and pulse rifle and falling guillotine. I think rank 92 or something is where you get to a point where it's like the last upgrade for the Recaster. So you got to get pretty far into it. And it's also what I'm not doing, and I am not focusing on Pinnacle activities yet. I have not really raided. I have not. I've done the dungeon once, and I did not play Trials. Well, Trials was canceled the one weekend. I did not play last weekend because those are not XP sources. And if my primary goal is to get through the season pass as much as possible, like those still just do not give out very much XP at all. There's very few bounties tied to them. I could spend 2 hours running Garden or something, or I could do my weekly powerfuls and the bounties for that and get just 25, 30, 35 ranks in the season pass. Maybe I'm not having as much fun, but now the only kind of thing left for me to do now is to focus on the Pinnacle grind, so I can go start doing that stuff if I want to now. One thing I've also kind of experienced just through this process of the last 2 weeks is that this kind of happened last time too, where my farming feels almost done now for the new loot, where there's only 6 drops, and just through sheer doing of activities, like I have gotten so many Umbral drops, and yeah, I've focused some of them, and I did a little bit of target farming for a couple of the weapons, but not very much. And even just turning, I don't have the currency, I don't have the altered element, so even just turning in regular Umbral engrams, I've gotten a bazillion drops of all the new weapons, and I think I have kind of all the rolls I'm looking for already on most of these weapons, like whether it's Headseeker Killing Wind on the Cold Denial Pulse, or Sympathetic Arsenal on the bow, or Overflow Rampage on the auto rifle, and then of course Whirlwind, either Whirlwind Vorpal or Relentless Vorpal, Whirlwind Relentless on the 2 different swords, because only one of them can roll Vorpal, but swords are so strong now you can get any roll on either of those swords and they're just obscene. So that's kind of 2 off the list right there, because they're so strong it doesn't even matter. But it is kind of weird to just be kind of done farming, and I know I'm going to keep getting Umbrals throughout the season. It's just I don't really know what I'm going for now. I thought maybe I would try to focus on high stat armor or something, but we learned that when you're spending all this currency to focus armor, the best you're doing is getting a 10 stat minimum on whatever stat you pick, so recovery or mobility or whatever. So that's just kind of underwhelming. I mean, I've gotten a couple good rolls from doing that. Most of them are going to be at least 60 or 58, 59, 60. I think I got a 64 once. So I might keep doing that, and considering this armor is not going to be sunset for a year, it's probably good to get a few different element types, a few different stat rolls, so I guess I'll do that. I got to run the dungeon a bunch more, get all that loot, and then there are just upcoming events happening that we don't fully know about. There's 2 exotic quests that are coming in some capacity. We're going to have to hunt down all those little spooky eyes on the map that are creeping on us, and There's the Moments of Triumph, and I can't remember the other one, but it's on the roadmap. There's not a ton on the roadmap, but there is still stuff to come, and we're going to start seeing the pyramids move around. Like, I think it's going to go to Titan next week for that public event. But for now, I feel I always kind of do this. I race to finish the season pass and maxing whatever the thing is as much as possible early on. I am getting a little tired of the system where whether it's obelisks or the bunkers or now the Recaster, this little like upgrade all the boxes thing with this seasonal currency, and like it's fine. I just hope we don't do another full year of that next year, and I kind of hope they expand beyond that. And they really do need to do things like they talked about, like making this better for solo players, because I'm at such an advantage running 3 characters doing this kind of stuff. It's not even funny, both in terms of XP gain and like Recaster currency. And I think they need to fix the bounty thing, because XP is just still way too heavily reliant on bounties, and they have not really done much to address that. The good news about the season, everything's good. Like, the actual stuff in the season is good. I like running the missions. The Contact public event is good. The weapons are really solid, and I'm pretty much using nothing but those weapons and a few exotics. I'm starting to mess around with some cool builds. There's a sidearm build I wrote about. I wrote about a rocket launcher build from Recaster today that sounds very weird, but is actually very fun. And we'll see what else we can discover as time goes on. But just for those who were wondering like how I got through all this stuff so fast, the answer is playing a lot, but it's also kind of what I focus on specifically to get this far. And there's some advantages I have just running 3 characters, but it's also kind of specifically going for XP or currency or whatever it is in a given week to get this far. Things, I don't know, we'll see where things go from here. I'm hoping maybe we get the exotic quests next week, maybe a week after. And then I'm assuming we're going to hop to Titan for new pyramid stuff. I think we're kind of in a loop now where we've seen all 3 contact bosses, and I think we've seen all 3 interference mission encounters. I don't think there's a new one every single week, which would be crazy, and I would not expect that. So we might be kind of done with that aspect of the content, but I don't know. I'm less inclined to run the Pinnacle grind this time around, because I know that we're going to get this huge power jump come fall. So just making the dungeon slightly easier, or like running Grandmaster Nightfalls, which I can't stand, does not really seem worth it when we're going to get like a 200, 250 power jump again. So I don't know. I'm probably just going to take it pretty easy the rest of the season and take things as it comes. But I've enjoyed the grinding so far. It's just, it is possible to finish a lot of stuff very quickly if that's what you're focused on. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I hate saying that. Like, comment, subscribe, and the bell thing. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see you next time. I'm going to try and make these videos regular as I can. I am still working on the sound issues. I got my little pop filter thing here that maybe will help, maybe not. You can let me know in the comments. But I'm trying, and it may take a little while to fully sort this out, but I appreciate you bearing with me. But thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you next time.